Creating links, permanent links between your router, your environment on-prem, could be a virtual appliance in a public cloud, to Zscaler. That's what we're going to cover in this video. So you've got your router on site. You might have a wireless access point, your wireless network, broadcasting your wonderful guest Wi-Fi. Now you've got people connecting to this with anything, unmanaged laptops, unmanaged devices, mobile phones, whatever it might be. They're connecting to your guest Wi-Fi. Your guest Wi-Fi is going out through your router to the internet. Now, what if you want to secure this traffic? Well, that's what we're going to cover in this video. So if we remove that, you could say a lot of the time you have a VLAN or some other WLAN controls where you have your default gateway. This default gateway is typically it ends up at a router before it breaks out to the internet. So what we can do is actually establish a tunnel to your Zscaler tenant. So you have your Zscaler cloud over here, and within that you've got ZIA, Zscaler Internet Access. And what we're going to cover in this video is actually creating a tunnel between your gateway that you specify for these use cases and ZIA. This comes in two flavors. In this video we're going to cover IPSec, but you can also use GRE depending on what your router supports. In ZIA, enter the menu for static IPs and GRE tunnels, enter the static IP address. So mine is 81.132.175.248. I'm going to give it a description. So I'm just going to call this remote office. Click next. Tell the platform where this lives. And then click save. And then don't forget to activate this new configuration. Just want to activate that. And then head down to VPN credentials. Click OK. Add VPN credential. The IP address is the one that we added, and create a new key for this VPN. So I'm just going to type in a key that I've got here, and then I'm just going to name this really explicitly. So if I come back to this at a later point in time, or if a different ZIA administrator looks at this, it's really clear what this VPN is for. So this connection is to establish a site-to-site IPSec VPN link between my Zscaler ZIA configuration, which is my pretend organization for my demo lab, and my home location. Again, activate the change. And then go into location management under resources, add a new location and give this location a name. So remote office again. For me, where is it? I've just put Milton Keynes, which is the closest kind of town to where this remote office is. It's in the UK, time zone GMT. Perfect. And then we've got our location type. So this is going to be actually for IoT traffic, but the same logic applies to the guest Wi-Fi whiteboard at the beginning of this video. Select the IP address that's related to this, the VPN credentials that we created, i.e. the key. We've got no virtual service edges in this location, and then click save. Activate the change again. And that's committed. So that concludes the setup on the Zscaler Internet Access side, but the last piece of information you're going to need for your router is available on the Zscaler website. So go to config.zscaler.com, have a look at the IP ranges that we publish on the Zscaler website. I've selected my cloud, which is zscaler.net at the top there. Make sure you select the correct cloud. And then the data center that's closest to me is London 5. So if we just have a look at this table, you can see the SVPN virtual IP address that we're going to need for our router. If we scroll down to London 5, we'll see we've got the IP address there. That's the last bit of information you need for your router. Put this in and establish a connection.